Welcome to Back from the Dead, episode 4. And this one's going to be different. As it says in the title, I got some questions for you. And we're going to get to those in just a second. But first, just a quick update. You might be hearing this on the Sirenicide feed and be like, what the fuck is this crap? You might be hearing this on the Hearing the Haunted feed and be like, holy shit, this still produces stuff? Wow. And you might be hearing this on the Back from the Dead feed and thought, hey man, I thought you're going to do something like every month. It's freaking March, and last episode was in January. And all of those things are true. So I got a lifetime update for you guys. I started a part-time job. So in one of my last updates, I talked about quitting my full-time job, which I did have for 12 years. And that was just in an industry that I was in for 17 years. And I've completely broken away from that to pursue a lot more of my passions and those kind of things. And I haven't stopped any of that. And I'm going to give more of an update to those kind of after the point of this episode. But yeah, man, I'm like, I'm freaking, I work at a pet store now, which is completely out of my wheelhouse, except for the fact that I love dogs and cats and stuff like that. So it's just a part-time job, to bring in a little extra income to help, pursue the passions and that kind of thing. But it's been a really cool experience. Hopefully it continues. If not, I'm still going to be working on, all my writings and my music and those kind of things. But I wanted to try something out. So I've always been a big fan of podcasts like Bill Burr and things like that. And I love this format. I used to use this a lot on the old Sirenicide Ice episodes. So as you can tell, there's a little bit more mouth clicking noise, and it's just me in front of a mic. I don't have any jump cut edits. You can hear my ums and my ands and that kind of thing. And I wanted to see what this works out for you guys, or if this works out for you guys. Because if it does, I'm going to try to do a weekly show. It won't be the essays. When I do any type of essay episodes, like the last 3 Back from the Dead episodes, and again, if you're hearing this on HTH or Sirenicide, man, you need to go check those retrospectives out. They're pretty cool. Do a typo negative retrospective, but all of them are built to intrigue someone who's never listened to the topic I'm going over. I won't spoil much more than that. The first one really dives deep into my open heart surgeries. So yeah, check those out. I didn't want to... I'm going to put this on this feed for the Sirenicide and Hearing the Haunted probably just for this episode. But the weekly episodes I'm going to try to do on just the Back from the Dead feed. Because that's more... Even though there are some cool essays on there every now and then, like audio essays, it's still more, I feel like, my home just to do this kind of stuff. Just to talk to you guys without polluting, the Sirenicide feed. And probably after about a year or whatever, I'll pull this even out of the Hearing the Haunted and Sirenicide feeds that way. It just keeps those just for those serialized and anthology horror stories only. All right. So with all that out of the way, I got a question for you guys. And I mean this for real. Not like the meme where you answer it in your car. You ever seen that meme where the 2 kids are eating ice cream in a poster and the kid sitting next to the poster sharing his ice cream he's really eating in front of the poster, like laughing with them? That's kind of what it feels like sometimes to talk to a podcaster because they can't really hear you back. But I can read, believe it or not. So please hit up the show notes. I got my Twitter links in there. I'm going to have my direct email, which is johnstitches@gmail.com. John, not Johnny. And then everything else is Johnny Stitches. So facebook.com is going to be Johnny Stitches. You can @ me at Twitter at Johnny Stitches. I think my Instagram is johnny.stitches, and you can message me there if you want. But email is super direct. I'm going to get that right on my phone. Or you can tweet me. That'll come right to me on my phone. But yeah, I want you to help me answer these questions. All right? Because, I'm curious. So I want to know, what is your favorite Star Wars film and why? Now, this can be one of the 9 trilogy movies, or it can be the Solo film or Rogue One, the 2 Star Wars Stories films. I still consider those theatrical releases because they are Star Wars films. Not Mandalorian, not Clone Wars, not Rebels, none of that stuff. Not Andor, which was great. But right now I just want to know, what is your favorite Star Wars film? And it'd be really, really cool if you ranked them. because mine changes constantly. And I'm working on my next Back from the Dead essay, and I would like to include some feedback stuff in there. So I think that would be really fucking cool. Next topic, Last of Us, right? Question mark, HBO series, like half the fucking world's watched. What did you think about it? And how does it compare to The Walking Dead if you were a big fan of that until it fell apart and then came back and then, or maybe never came back for you depending on where you are? Or if you're like me and you just begrudged through every episode towards the end. But think about like how you felt about The Walking Dead season like 1 and season 2 versus, The Last of Us season 1 kind of thing. I'd like to hear what the comparison is, because I feel like the pop culture zeitgeist around this is very similar to like 12 years ago around The Walking Dead. So I think that's really fucking cool. So again, recap the questions. What's your favorite Star Wars film and why? Last of Us or Walking Dead and why? Or not even worth comparing them, bro. What the fuck? Yeah, man. I'd like to know. Approaching 7 years on podcasting. Isn't that nuts? What the hell? But we are. It's this September is technically will be the anniversary, the 7-year anniversary of the release of Cyrenicide's first episode. But I feel like I'm approaching like my 5th year, maybe 6th year podcasting like this, if I can include the ICE interviews. But I'm gonna try to do a weekly episode. I want to keep it like really under 30 minutes. If I start getting a lot of questions in and the podcast starts growing, we'll do maybe some little different things. But for right now, that's mainly the thing. If you want to click off here and answer those questions for me, that would be great. I want to compile some feedback and put some really cool shit together, and maybe go week to week answering some of these comments. And then when the essay episodes come out, hopefully that'll make them more in depth. I also want to thank my patrons. Man, I know I say this on like all the time, but at one time there was like over 100 Cyrenicide patrons for like a brief moment. And then it stayed in the 90s for a long time. I'm down to like 34 now. So we're with the ride or dies. But with those ride or dies, it's still producing over $100 a month, which I mean, doesn't sound like a lot, but it pays for the website, it pays for the hosting, and that kind of thing. And then if we get those numbers up, like I always say, those numbers go up, I feel indebted. I'm going to produce more content. I'm going to write more stories. There's going to be more voice actors hired, and you'll see things start lighting up in the Cyrenicide, and Hearing the Haunted feeds probably more following that. More Hearing the Haunted, obviously, than Cyrenicide. Because if I light that feed up, it's going to be epic. Anyway, oh, yeah. I love this unedited stuff. Eon Code, man. I played our first Eon Code show of the year. Me and Zoe Emery on the keyboards, and we played Fortress Beer Works here in Spring, Texas. If you're listening to this like around the world, there's some photos of it on my Johnny Stitches page if you want to check them out. I'm working on scouring through like the 4 angles of video I did. We did a Toss the Coin of the Witcher cover. I did Jenny of Oldstone's acapella. It was a really, really cool freaking show, man. And I want to thank Jay Mazer, the great author, for letting us grace her brewery with our synthwave arts, our electronic arts. I don't think electronic arts is a thing, is it? No, it's not. I think I should be safe. I'm just going to say I have created electronic arts. Maybe I'll call it, I like acronyms. I'll just do EA. Yeah. I am like EA. And like EA, I'm asking you to pay me money if you want to go to Patreon. All right. RPG update. We are entering the 2nd year of the beta game. I've been playing with close friends, working all the kinks out. Man, this guide is pretty much done. I'm just so scared to publish it. And then we play a game like, shit, why didn't I say the RM, which is a Realm Master? It's my version of a Dungeon Master. Why didn't they do this? So my fears are kind of holding me back. I really want to finish a few more campaigns before I really start seeking out a way to publish this thing. And I'm trying not to just self-publish. I really want to get this thing sold and purchased and, do it right. That way it goes into more gaming shops across the world, isn't just a regional thing. Hearing the Haunted. Here's the update on that. Yep. And, but check out the update on Cyrenicide. All right. that being said, I want to thank all the new people listening to this if you've gotten to this episode, because for some reason the Cybernus side download numbers just keep going. So either AI bots or some new fans that never really say anything or purchase any merch are out there really, digging the new side. I mean, the Cybernus side 4 seasons, which is up till right now my life's work. So I really, really appreciate that. I think that's really all I got, man. I don't want to make this first one too long. Again, once I get some feedback in, I want to try to do some 30-minute structure kind of stuff. I feel like it's a good sweet spot. You can write in and let me know if you're like, no, man, we want an hour. No, dude, we don't want this at all. But I miss you guys. I miss talking to, out there to the internet ether. And yeah, again, it's Johnny Stitches at gmail.com. Or I fucked it up. Look at that. johnstitches at gmail.com. Johnny Stitches over at Twitter. Johnny Stitches on Facebook. Shoot me a message. Let me know what is your favorite Star Wars film and why. And Last of Us or Walking Dead and why. And I think those are going to really help start the pop culture conversations I'm kind of wanting to have here. I do got some still deeper stuff coming. And that's pretty much it. And if you're in the local Texas area and you want a new puppy, Johnny Stitches on Twitter and Facebook. You can email me at johnstitches@gmail. Because I'm in a pet store now, and it's pretty fucking cool. All right, that's all I got. So I hope you made it through this 11 or 12 minutes of agony. Not like the agony realm, but agony. I'm gonna let you go now. All right, love you guys.